Hello everyone, welcome back adventurers. Today we're diving into free, thrilling battleground modes in Blackness and Online, each offering unique challenges and strategies. Whether you prefer fast-paced combat, strategic node control, or point domination, there's something for everyone. Let's jump right into it. Today I want to talk about reworking PvP in Black Desert Online by replacing dead content with game modes that are actually fun, competitive, and easy to get into, especially for new players. The first game mode is Team Deathmatch. This is for replacing the red battlefield. This is not just another arena, it's meant to feel like a real arena, a coliseum, where both teams fight on equal ground. I suggest Team Deathmatch as 5v5 by default, with the option to scale for 10v10 or 15v15, whatever Pearl Abyss feels like is better in their balance books, but not larger than that. The larger the player count, the longer the queue times become, so we have to find a balance here. We're already seeing what happens with 20 players per team, pure chaos, long wait times, and heavily unbalanced matches. The map should be fully mirrored, similar to Arena of Solare, so both sides are completely equal. Even though Arena of Solare doesn't have equalized sides of the map, I wish they had. The rules are simple. The first team to reach a set number of kills wins. Respawns are supposed to be fast, I would say about 5 to 10 seconds, and spawns are protected to prevent camping. However, sitting inside the spawn for too long will get you forced out after, let's say, 30 seconds. This prevents gatekeeping while still keeping the match flowing. This game is for players who miss chaotic PvP, where skill and position matter the most. All game modes would include in-game voice chat. To keep things balanced, I suggest limiting duplicate classes. In 5v5, there should be no duplicate classes at all. In 10v10, maybe a maximum of 2 of the same class. Support heavy classes like Shy, Wizard, and Valkyrie, or any class that completely shift the fight through buffs or healing, should also be distributed evenly. If 2 Shys are queuing up, 1 goes on each team. If 2 Wizards queue up, 1 go on each team. This prevents class stacking from deciding the matches. The second game mode, Mini Node War. This functions just like Node War, but on a smaller scale. For random matchmaking, it will run as a, let's say, a 10v10 or 12v12 or 15v15 to avoid overburdening the system. For organized skill play, it could be scaled up to 20v20 or even more. The way it still feels like a real battleground without turning unmanageable chaos. Each team, red and blue, has a fort, barricades, flame towers, and defensive structures. There is either a defense lead and an offense lead that has special perks, or just one single commander. These roles can be swapped in the preparation room, with around, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes to set it up and coordinate with your team members. In the middle of the map, there is a single resupply depot. From this depot, players can buy traps, repair materials, or ammo for structures like flame towers. This is where leadership truly matters. The commander can activate team-wide buffs, such as allowing safe access to the supply depot for, let's say, 30 seconds, or granting heavy damage reduction. These buffs have long cooldowns, let's say 5 to 10 minutes, so timing and decision making are critical. Other buffs could include damage increase, short CC immunity, let's say for like 5 seconds, for the entire team, or massive movement speed for fast rotation. The map itself is designed with multiple lanes, forests, or obstacles to avoid a one-sided steamrolling. The goal is for strategy, teamwork, and coordination to decide the winner, not raw gear or numbers. This mode would also fit perfectly into Guild League. Right now, Guild League is basically just Team Deathmatch. Adding Mini Node War to Guild League would bring real objectives, leadership roles, and coordinated play. More importantly, it encourages players to actually communicate. People can volunteer for roles, defense, offense, scouting, repairs, and work together towards a shared goal. BDO often feels like a solo game, even in PvP, and as a PvP player, that just isn't enjoyable. This mode brings back the feeling of fighting with people, not just next to them. It also serves as a gateway into full-scale node wars. This way, new players don't have to be scared to join a guild underperforming or not knowing what they're doing in all the chaotic scene that happens during the guild node wars. I'm not saying guild mode wars are not fun, they're super fun, but it depends on the guild that you're joining, and it's a really steep learning curve for new players. New players can learn shot calling, positioning, and team play without the pressure of massive guilds. Right now, the biggest barrier to node war isn't gear, it's mentality. People feel like they don't contribute or they are not good enough. This mode fixes that. Points and 2 spawns. Each team has a home spawn with a nearby base, blue on one side, red on the other. There's a third base in the middle of the map. Bases must be fully captured before they start generating points, which tick every 5 or let's say 10 seconds. I suggest a 20-minute match duration. To prevent turtling and max DP stalling, the map includes a rotating objective buff on a timer. This buff will be gained by either interacting with it or having to do the most damage to a buff around, let's say, every 3 minutes. This buff is strong enough to shift momentum, like a damage increase or impactful effect. These values can be tuned over time. If both teams have at least one player on base, that point becomes neutral. So let's say red have a player on the point and blue have a player on the point. Then the point will become neutral and nobody will gain points as long as there is at least one from each team standing on the point. This rewards CC usage, coordinated pushes, and smart rotation. Respawn timers need to strike a balance, fast enough to allow risky plays, but long enough to avoid mindless body throwing. I would say around 30 seconds feels right. The final game mode I want to suggest is Team Ranked Arena of Solare. I honestly don't understand why we don't have this already. We desperately need team-based ranked AoS, so we can play together and not as solo players. BDO combat shines the most when coordination, drafting, or teamwork matter. A team ranked ladder would give competitive players something real to grind towards. I don't understand why we have Ranked Arena Solare, but only in seasonals, with a huge pause in between. This is not okay. I want to see competitive gameplay be consistent. This would also create a clearer competitive scene and better environment for class balance. Please, we need this. When it comes to rewards, I'm not fully decided on this. What matters most is that they feel worth doing. Not as profitable as grinding, of course, but rewarding enough that players want to queue up. And win or lose rewards shouldn't be too far apart. You should feel encouraged to play, not punished for losing. Consumables are another open question. On one hand, consumables make PvP more interesting. On the other, they make balancing much harder, especially in instance PvP. Make consumables belong only in open world or PvP node wars. Or maybe there's a middle ground. For example, limiting players to 1 elixir, 1 food and 1 perfume. I don't have the perfect answer, and you know what? That's okay. My goal isn't to perfectly balance this system. My goal is to bring better ideas forward. And I truly believe these modes are far more valuable than Red Battlefield and, well, Blue Battlefield, while still staying true to BDO's combat identity. These modes will also give Perlibis better data for class balance. Some classes will shine in certain modes. Overpowered classes will shine in all of them. That makes balancing clearer and healthier. Let's get proper PvP. Let's make BDO great again. Perlibis showed at Calcium Ball 2025 that they're willing to listen, at least a little. Now is the time to push forward and make PvP actually good. Leave your suggestion in the comments. What would you change? What reward would you want to see? So I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.